Yuma Edition, I'm Alexandra Rangel. This morning, Victor Calderon and I are bringing you the latest local headlines. A heat warning in Yuma has been extended, and Yuma police are asking for the public's help identifying suspected car burglars caught on video. We'll have Yuma Police Chief Thomas Garrity in studio to give us the latest on that investigation. He'll also tell us about Operation Teardrop, what the operation involved, and why it was important to the Yuma community. Stay with us for all that and more on Yuma Edition, only on KOFA 94.7 FM Border Radio. You can also watch us live on our KAWC Facebook and YouTube pages. And if you'd like to get in touch, send us an email at yumaedition@kawc.org. Good morning. Happy Monday. Welcome to Yuma Edition. I'm Alexandra Rangel.
And I'm Victor Calderon. Good morning. It's good to be here.
It's good to be back. Have a good weekend?
Yes. Yeah. It always goes by too fast, but I saw the new Spider-Man movie.
How was that?
It's good. It's long. It's, you got to kind of follow like what happened in past movies, and they're always dropping clues for other movies. So you got to kind of pay attention. That's
great. And I'm sure being in that nice, cool theater is nice. You were mentioning some heat warnings.
Yeah. So breaking news, it's hot in Yuma. And so the extreme heat warning from the National Weather Service has been extended once again. So I feel like it's been going on for like the last 2 weeks, right? But it's summer in Yuma, so it's not news to people that live here that it's hot, right? But extreme heat warning, supposed to end 8 p.m. tonight. We'll see if it gets extended.
Wow. I always feel so bad for my dogs. Like we have a lot of room in our house, which is good. Mm-hmm. And they're just running around, and it just is what it is at this time. But yeah, they can't be outside for long. And it's a good reminder for everyone to stay hydrated, check on, pets, check on older adults, check on, smaller children. Be sure that when you get to a parking lot, you don't leave anyone in the car, pets or humans, all that good stuff, right? It's always good to remind people that. Yeah. And this morning, some breaking news out of San Luis High School. Another teacher arrested, this time for, facing charges related to minors.
Yeah, so this is, the name is Genesis del Alvarado, a digital photography teacher, was booked into the Yuma County Detention Center on August 7th and is currently held under pending court action with a total bond amount set at $200,000.
Yeah, it's a big bond. I mean, just so sad we were talking about this last week, how, the start of the school year, and we just was like bad news after bad news. Last week we had another teacher arrested in Somerton. That person had possession of drugs. And so, yeah, just not the best way to start the school year.
No, but we will follow the case as much as, as soon as we get information, we'll share that on kwc.org, and we'll put that on, online and on air. But yeah, certainly, not the good news you want to hear back to school. And then in addition to, we also reported on the air conditionings that were going out. Yeah. So between that and these arrests, can we get some good news from schools? No. And
actually, we should tease tomorrow. We are expecting to have, is it the proper word, HVAC?
Yes.
Professional with us tomorrow to kind of talk about what goes into keeping an entire school, even a college like this one, cool, right? There's always like a main system that makes everything work. So we'll be learning a little bit about that.
And as we've talked about, we need the air conditioning, whether you're in your vehicle or in your home or in your office. And I mean, because it is so hot is when the machines get tested. So all the machines aren't new. So, the hotter it gets, the more they get tested, and they get to a breaking point at some point.
They're not new and they're expensive.
Yes.
They're very expensive. Like when your AC breaks down, it's going to cost you a pretty penny.
Yes.
So
save.
We're actually going to go on a quick break, but when we come back, we're joined by Yuma Police Department. We're going to talk about a lot of things, Operation Teardrop, and a lot of stuff happening. So stay with us here on Yuma Edition.
Run by music lovers like yourselves, KOFA Border Radio has what you need. A non-commercial home filled with music heard from all over the world. Tune in at 94.7 FM, 1320 AM on the KOFA app or at borderradioaz.org.
KAWC and Border Radio are supported by the Yuma Sun, delivering local news as well as weekly features such as Ronnie's Remedy Advice Column, Desert Gardener, and a Get Involved community feature. Businesses and organizations interested in connecting with the Yuma Sun's print and digital audiences can learn all about opportunities under advertising at yumasun.com.
You're tuned to 94.7 FM. There's an extreme heat warning for Yuma today with a high near 108, heat index values as high as 113, partly cloudy tonight with a low around 86. On this week's Arizona edition, KWC's Victor Calderon reports on Kimberly Clark coming to Yuma, and San Luis teens help seniors combat loneliness. You can listen to the latest episode of Arizona Edition on the KWC app and at kawc.org. Stay tuned as Yuma Edition continues on 94.7 FM, KOFA Border Radio.
Program underwriting is an investment in local journalism and community engagement. By supporting Yuma Edition, businesses and organizations help bring local news, interviews, and conversations to listeners throughout Yuma and La Paz counties. To learn more about underwriting opportunities, email support@kawc.org.
Welcome back to Yuma Edition. I'm Alex. I'm joined by Victor here, and we're joined by Yuma Police Department Police Chief Thomas Garrity and Public Information Officer and Sergeant, right, Lori Franklin. Thanks for being here on this Monday.
Oh, hey, just a way to keep paying for the winter that we're going to have. So.
Yeah, we're glad to have you here. We're going to be talking about Operation Teardrop, but before we get to that, you guys were making headlines this past weekend. There was this video that was circulating online, and you guys came on, cleared the air about what was happening. Can you tell us about that?
So, we don't post every investigation online, but when there's information out there that causes a community panic, we feel like we need to calm the community's fears of that information may not be accurate and give out the actual accurate information that we have during the investigation. And I understand that sometimes stories get told from, the old mailman thing that you did in school, and things get blown up. And when it causes a community panic and community concern, we heard from many parents about the fear of their children being abducted.
Yeah.
And so we had to put out there what information that we had. And it just goes to anything that goes online, you got to verify it before you sit there and start panicking. I mean, think about all, California's going to fall in the ocean because of global warming and stuff like that. And, it is our responsibility. We don't answer to every social media post, but we're going to defend our actions when it appears that we're not doing what we're supposed to. And when we have serious allegations like that, the community has to trust us that we are doing our job and we're doing what needs to be done. And again, yes, it is not CSI. We're not solving any crime in an hour. So there is times to take to investigate, and it has to be done accurately. I know there was some concerns about the video.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we just can't go in and take somebody's video. We actually, if we don't have a search warrant, we try and work with people first. And not everybody, for reasons, has access to the video, and it's limited. And so we're working with them, and we will get that when we're able to.
Yeah. And for those who are just hearing about this, it was misinformation about that there was some type of child abduction happening. But no, it was a young girl who was trying to buy a vape, right? These kids are addicted to those vapes, man.
Yes. And yeah, just to clarify, YPD said this was not an attempted abduction. Yeah. The investigation remains ongoing. So again, consider the source. You're always going to get the most accurate information from the Yuma Police Department. And then, of course, local news outlets like KWC and others.
And we have no problem with, the community wanting to know what we're doing and making sure that we are doing our job. That's always welcome. But we are going to do our job. We're going to protect our community. Our police officers are part of this community, and they have children. We all have friends and family and everything like that. So we're going to try and make Yuma the safest place to live that we can.
And if people have questions about something, they heard something, is this going on? Call us. call us, instant message us, text, however you want to, but call and verify the information. Again, we noticed it was really creating almost a panic within the community, thinking that somebody's doing this. So we felt we needed to get the true story out there so that they saw that it wasn't an attempted abduction.
And we're talking within minutes of the story going out, we were getting calls.
Wow. Yeah. Word gets out fast. And it is scary, especially when we hear about like Operation Teardrop and like real children, right, being in real danger. So let's talk about that. Is it a years long operation?
No, it was a year in the planning.
A year in the
Yes.
planning.
So these operations do not happen overnight. There's a lot of things that must be put in place. One is because we want to make sure that we protect the people's rights that are being arrested. We have to make sure that our people involved in the operation are trained correctly. And so it takes a long time to do that.
And Chief, for those hearing about Operation Teardrop for the first time, can you explain what was the operation and why did police think it was necessary?
So, one of the big things that, again, when I first got here in 2023, the mayor and the city council, they were worried about human trafficking. And I'll go with human trafficking is not only about sex, it's also about labor. And they wanted to see what we can do to stop human trafficking. The police department, Amber Lee's Place, we have applied for grants on training, and not only training for our officers, but training for the community, training for the hotels to identify that. And of course, there's no longer the prostitutes standing on the corner. It's all online. And the children under 18, they're very proficient with stuff online. And there are so many ways to contact. We understood that this is the way that we're having these predators go after children and grooming them, trying to entice them to come out and commit these sexual acts is through online. And so that's what we were using was online platforms to see who contacted us. We did not initiate any contact with anyone. These and I'll say these sick individuals were sitting there contacting people they knew were under age 16. And there was no doubt that they knew because several times they were told, I'm only 14, is this, that type of thing. And they continued to engage and actually made overt acts to meet what they believed were going to be 14-year-old individuals to have sexual exploitation with them. And instead, they met the police department.
Wow.
And
when we're talking about these platforms, are they common ones that parents should be aware of?
yes, basically any gaming platform that has two-way communication. Any type of websites that advertise for adult services. They got Discord, you've got Instagram, you've got I won't say just in our community, this is nationwide. It is not just Yuma. It's not a big city. It is a problem nationwide. And, some people could say, oh, it was only 5. I don't care. It's 1. That's enough. It's our kids that are in danger of people trying to prey on them. And we will continue to try and root out these people and make sure that they are taken away from the children.
And I know you guys partnered up with agencies. Can you tell us about that partnership, why those partnerships are necessary, and I guess like what everyone brings to the table?
Yeah. So again, it's training. So HSI is very Homeland Security Investigations. They allow us with get some federal information that we may not have right away. The U.S. Marshal Services, they're all after going after the criminals. Goodyear gave us some detectives. Peoria gave us some detectives because one is they have experience. And so while they may not be the ones online, they're overseeing the detectives, again, as a way to double check to make sure that we are respecting rights and not entrapping people. But it's a community effort because also that, they might be up in Goodyear doing it. They might be all throughout the state. And this allows for the cross communication between everyone.
Chief, we're going to take a quick break, but we will be back. We still have more questions for you, so stick with us here on Yuma Edition.
Tuned in to Border Radio KOFA. We are your local public radio station that celebrates the power of music to bring people together. You can see our playlists, listen to our live stream, and listen to past programs on demand on the KOFA app. Find it at your favorite app store.
Public media thrives because businesses, organizations, and listeners invest in programs that inform and connect our communities. Their support helps Yuma Edition deliver local news, local voices, and local conversations every weekday. To learn how your organization can become a program underwriter, email support@kawc.org.
Welcome back to Yuma Edition. I'm Alex. I'm joined here by Victor and Yuma Police Department with Chief Thomas Garrity and Lori Franklin. We are talking about Operation Teardrop, which was, this operation that really looked into people who are, trying to contact minors for sexual exploitation, sex trafficking. This led to at least 5 arrest here in the region. So, Chief, I wanted to ask you, what does child sex trafficking actually look like in Yuma? It's something that's done in the dark. We don't see it. We often hear about it. But what does it look like here?
So it is done in the dark and behind scenes, but there's also signs. So, Yuma is, I'm going to say it's a pit stop between San Diego and Phoenix. So there's, people that may be transporting the minors and stopping in Yuma for gas or stopping in Yuma for a meal. And it is seeing that child and seeing it on their face and knowing in your gut that something's wrong is maybe engage in a little bit of conversation and to find out if it is. And if there is, and you see something, please say something. There is nothing wrong with trying to save a child.
Yeah. And I mean, you said when you first started here that the mayor, for the mayor to ask you that, right, we want to combat this, then it means that it must be pretty bad, right?
No, I'm not going to say it's bad.
Okay.
It is just a priority of theirs because, again, no human being should ever be held as collateral or chattel. It is not something that's acceptable. And when you're taking a minor and you do that, you are affecting them for the rest of their life. It is some things that people never get over. But then you're looking at, so how do they deal with it? They're going to deal with it through substance abuse, through carrying out, their anger on somebody, which affects the rest of society. And we need to stop that. We make sure that nobody is ever put in that position to have to do that.
Yeah. Are there misconceptions about trafficking that can prevent parents or young people from recognizing it? Any misconceptions that you can think of?
It is not, again, it is not just sex. It is labor. But go ahead, Lori. You're gonna.
Yeah, it's staying on top of your children. They're on these phones. They're on the internet. It's any platform where they can actually contact somebody else. So know what channels your child is on. Know who they're talking to. Know what's being said. You as a parent are going to look at this and go, that's not right. And if you see something that is just not right, call us and let us check into it. Don't just go, maybe it's probably nothing. But stay involved in your child's life. Know what they're on, know what they're saying, know who they're hanging out with. That is going to be your biggest savior as far as taking care of your kids.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, a kid may not recognize innuendos, that type of thing, but we as adults do. And, when my kids were growing up, I had every one of their passwords and everything else like that. And maybe they knew it, maybe they didn't, but that was checked on all the time. And don't be afraid to do that. You're not your child's friend. You're their parent. Your job is to protect them and to make sure that they're successful. And that's, you can have a friendship with them, but you still have to be their parent, and it is your job to protect them.
And be aware of who they're talking to, what platforms they're on. Sergeant Franklin, you mentioned people contacting law enforcement. Could you give the numbers, please? And we might do this again before the end of the show. But
the non-emergency number is 928-783-4421. Of course, if you think it's an emergency, call 911.
And there's also the 78 crime number.
78 crime is an anonymous tip line that you can call in, stay anonymous. Again, that will be given to either investigators or dispatch if it's a call in progress. And what we're going to do is again, you're anonymous, but we will also look into anything that is reported. Like the chief said, the adults are going to recognize things that children aren't going to recognize.
Yeah.
And then there's also the YPD app.
Yeah, YPD has an app. It's for both Android and Apple. You can put a tip in there anonymously or leave your name, but you can also send pictures. It goes straight to dispatch, and they'll put a call for service in.
And that is actually monitored 24 hours a day.
That's great. And I know this is such like a heavy topic, and I have another heavy somewhat topic. I wanted to talk about the safe haven baby boxes that are new here in Yuma. They were placed in July by rural metro fire stations. There's one at station number 2 and number 5. I've actually been in contact with rural metro. I want to get them on here to talk about, what went into putting these safe haven boxes, but they were very motivated after what happened to baby Sonny, who was found, he was found dead in a hotel in May. So over a year now. Have you guys heard anything about these boxes and any updates on that?
So I was actually part of the Safe Haven Coalition to make sure that we got the information out, to make sure that all the fire departments had the Safe Haven boxes here in the city of Yuma. And I know that they've been working with Ambulance Place and other NGOs to make sure that they get out there. It is a very important project, is that sometimes people, they feel like they have nothing, that they're trapped. And this gives the opportunity for them to save a life.
And Chief, how do these boxes work? Literally, a mother can just come and drop off their baby. How does it work?
Yes, they can drop it off, no questions asked. And that the fire department itself will make sure they're at the hospital too.
Okay.
So they're at Onvita and exceptional, but they will make sure that the baby's taken care of and healthy. Again, there's no questions asked.
And a mother doesn't face charges when that happens?
No,
Okay.
Not at all.
That's good to know. So again, those are in fire station number 2 and number 5. Something else on a lighter note, you guys are seeking dispatchers, and I feel like I'm always seeing that there's openings for a dispatcher. Why? Is it hard to keep them?
It's not easy training, first of all, but you got to figure they're taking phone calls from people. Sometimes it's the worst day of their life. They're taking calls from people who are very hard to understand because, again, it may be the worst days of their life. So it takes a strong personality to be able to handle those calls, to remain calm and, take care of what needs to be taken care of, to dispatch the police or fire department out there. So yeah, it takes a strong personality and somebody who's able to handle that. And that's what we're looking for, the strong people that want to help people, because you are helping somebody.
Well, what does the need look like right now for dispatchers?
So a couple of years ago, right around COVID, we were at about 50% vacancy rate. We're way down from that. We're probably in the 10% maybe, but because the training is difficult, we hire. Training is several months. It's not just, pick up the phone, here's what you do. There are certain things they have to do. As we hire them, they might not make it through training, and so then we have to hire. We, it is like Sergeant Franklin said, it's not a fun thing.
Yeah.
And the worst part is, it's one of the imagination is that you're hearing these things over the phone. Officers get to see it, and they see it, but the dispatchers are trying to go through their mind of what's going on. And when you hear the panic and stuff, you automatically go to the worst thing possible.
Yeah.
And you have to be a multitasking ninja, because you've got the phone, you've got the radio, you've got all the screens, you're typing at the same time. So yeah, a multitasking ninja.
Chief, you're also saying that you're looking for some good men and good women officers, other roles in the department?
Always. We're always looking for anyone that wants to devote public service to the city of Yuma. So we have many more jobs. We have video analysts. We have traffic investigators. While they may not all be open right now, but we're always looking for them. And you don't have to be 21 to be a video analyst. You don't have to be 21 to be a traffic analyst. You don't have to be 21 to be a public safety technician. We are looking for police officers.
Wow.
Again, we're always looking for them. We are looking to try and increase our numbers because that we're looking to open up a new station here on the eastern part of the city, and we want to get that filled. Now it's 5-6 years away, but we want to start filling that now. And the city council, the mayor, and the city administration is very supportive of that. And so, please, all you can do is apply.
Yeah.
And
Sure.
And I know you guys had the Teen Academy during the summer. How did that go?
That's always an exciting thing. It gives our young people a chance to look at through the police department what we do, how we do things. They're full. We always get way more applicants, but we get them in there. But they get to spend 4 days with the SROs and going through every aspect of the police department, and it always goes over well.
The greatest part is at the end. It's the first day is like how many people's parents made them come.
Yeah.
And about half the class raises their hand. And at the end, they sit there and go, this was the best week of my life. And they learn so much more about the police department. Police department is not only about chasing bad guys and running at high speed. They see what's behind the solving of crimes, whether it's the forensics, whether it's actually the officers and the interviews that they do. And they actually see that the officers are human beings. And that to me is the most important part, is that, they put their pants on one leg at a time.
Yeah. And you guys mentioned SROs, school resource officers. How many do we have right now at schools from YPD?
So we have 11.
Okay.
We're looking to probably expand 2 more schools by the end of the year. They're in the process of writing for grants. And our SROs are all grant funded through the schools. So it's not like we're taking the salaries that we have against police officers. It is actually paid for by the schools, and they all go through the state.
Incredible. We're going to be closing up here soon, but any advice you guys have for back to school? I know traffic's always a huge thing.
Patience. We know that there's traffic out there. We know you're trying to get your child to school. Be patient, please. Follow the traffic laws. Do not park in the bike lanes. Watch out for bicyclists. Watch out for kids walking to school. And please, please be patient.
And something positive happening in October is the Halloween event you guys put every year.
Every year.
Is that still happening? When is that?
That's going to be Halloween night. And we also have the GAIN event out mid-October, which is going to be at the Target parking lot.
So we'll be on the lookout for that, of
Thank
course.
you so much for being here this morning.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Thank you so much, Thomas Garrity and Lori Franklin. So thanks for hanging out with us here on Yuma Edition. Join us back here tomorrow at 10 a.m. Yuma Edition is a production of KWC and KOFA Border Radio. We broadcast from the Matador Activity Center at Arizona Western College. And we'd like to thank Anthony, Juan, Cecilia, and Talon for helping us get all of this show on air. And we'll see you here tomorrow.